I'm Lisa Fletcher for Spotlight on America. They answer the call on our worst days, but all too often, first responders are the victims of violent attacks on the job. And now we're exposing a disturbing trend and how violence against first responders is a threat to all of us.
Those that save us, forced to save themselves. First responders are increasingly falling victim to violent attacks, even in the tight quarters where they do their life-saving work.
Every single dispatch could be your last call.
Paramedic Melanie Kempf knows it all too well. Brutally attacked by a patient inside her ambulance in 2022.
And he's just escalating, getting louder and louder and louder.
We obtained this rarely seen body camera footage of the incident.
And I felt something kind of lean back. I was like, man, my abdomen's burning in my head. And I went to go back, and at that point, I saw the knife. So he's sitting here, and he's going like this.
At you?
Yes.
Mel, are you okay? He got me with the knife.
Where?
In my stomach. Okay.
The patient stabbed Melanie and then grabbed the officer's gun.
When we were able to get me about here, the gun goes off.
18.
Barely missing Melanie.
We found the bullet casing in the side of the ambulance rail here.
So you had just moved out of the way?
Yes, ma'am.
A close call she never expected.
What was it like when you watched that video back?
It gave me heart palpitations, PTSD. It is not something I ever thought of in EMS, that we could potentially get stabbed, shot, killed, somebody could beat us to death. And that nightmare happened that day.
A nightmare that stays with her every time she climbs into that ambulance and drives to a call.
Obviously, you're tough, you're physically tough, you're mentally tough, you have a difficult job every day, but you get choked up thinking about this.
I just think about the what ifs. And I could have not went home to my family. And my parents would have gotten a phone call that your kid's dead. She went to go help somebody, and she's dead because she attempted to help somebody.
That worst-case scenario played out in Kansas City earlier this year. Graham Hoffman, a 29-year-old EMT, was stabbed to death in the back of his ambulance by an attacker who had a history of violence against police. It made national headlines. Just months before, a gunman in Idaho lured 2 firefighters to a scene, then shot and killed them. But the true frequency of attacks, those that happen on quiet American streets, isn't fully understood.
Fatalities get picked up by the news. The everyday call that a firefighter, EMT, or paramedic goes on to a house in your neighborhood that turns violent, nobody ever hears about.
Bringing them to the forefront is Jen Taylor's mission. An epidemiologist and professor at Drexel University, she studies violence against first responders and what to do about it. The latest survey she's about to release found that nearly half of thousands of first responders surveyed reported an act of physical violence in the past year.
It's everywhere. I think this sample is telling us that people are experiencing violence everywhere.
And with emergency medical services strapped for staff, the risk only grows.
We've seen a 420% increase in calls for EMS with a flat line of first responders. So they are clearly doing more with less. And as an epidemiologist, I can say if there's more calls, there's more exposure, there's more potential for violence.
They're going to find that leverage and be able to break away from that red zone and get to safety.
And a likelihood the first responders aren't prepared for the threat. Jen Taylor evaluated a jiu-jitsu self-defense training class being offered for first responders.
Matt just comes in and just like tackles me off, and we all fall down together. And okay, when we fall over here, now he spins and we end up over here, and now it's like over here. Boom, boom, boom. You understand? It can be very chaotic when help shows up and is untrained.
To help them prepare for unexpected attacks from a patient, even on a gurney.
I'm de-escalating, I'm talking to them the whole time. We can all work together, apply, wrist, lock, excellent.
But there's no one-size-fits-all solution. Instead, departments decide how to invest in training and protection, with Taylor urging them to do pat-downs on patients and have protocols when entering homes.
I've run with firefighters, so I've actually seen this firsthand. You walk into a dark home, The door's open, you don't know what's going to come in. All you can see is what's in front of you. And when firefighters, paramedics, and EMTs do that, they are just focused on you. What do you need? How can we help you? They're not thinking that someone could come in that door behind them.
You might be wondering why bulletproof vests aren't a standard part of the uniform. Paramedics told us it makes them look more like police, which can increase hostility. A recent study found a nearly 30% increase in both the vest's escalating violence against EMS crews and the number of patients declining necessary care. The stabbing death of Graham Hoffman inspired new federal legislation to stiffen penalties for those who attack first responders. It's now being circulated in Congress. For now, at least 32 states have made it a felony to attack emergency medical personnel.
Are those laws achieving the desired results?
No. And I know that's hard to hear because we want justice. I want justice. But what we've learned from our research is that felony statutes don't dissuade anyone. The felony is after the injury has happened. So the firefighter is already dead, or the paramedic is already disabled from the assault, or the EMT no longer wants to do the job.
The irony chillingly captured in the background of the attack on Melanie Kempf, a warning that provides little comfort to those who risk everything to help those in need.
You sign up to this job to help people. You don't sign up to be a punching bag, and you certainly don't sign up to possibly get shot at.
But in Washington, D.C., firefighter-paramedic Trevor Good experienced violence firsthand just weeks after this scary incident showing an attack on a first responder inside a D.C. ambulance. Trevor and his team were transporting a patient down steep stairs at an apartment building when a man charged at them.
Got to the patient, started basically assaulting her and trying to rip her off of the straps that we were securing her so she didn't fall off. He tried to swing at us. We told him we were going to call the cops. He came back up and tried to swing at us again,
leaving them vulnerable until police arrived. A struggle left one officer injured.
In that scuffle, a handgun had popped out of his waistband.
The guy who attacked you was carrying a gun.
Absolutely. Yep.
You've got a wife.
Mm-hmm.
You've got family. They've got to be concerned when they see these things happen to you, especially after that incident.
Yeah, for sure. It's a scary job, right? It's one thing to say, oh, I went into a burning building last night or something. It's another thing to say you had a gun pulled on you for no reason at all.
A result, says Trevor, of the public losing respect for the uniform or failing to understand their life-saving job.
I still have the scar. I have a scar from here to here, my abdomen.
Let go, Mel!
Melanie Kempf bears physical and emotional scars from her attack, but is determined to continue her work and hopes new awareness of the dangers she and her colleagues face will inspire new support from a public that relies on paramedics and EMTs answering the call.
We're not just an ambulance driver. We're much more than that. We are there on your worst day, and not just a hand to hold, but I can do interventions that can save your life. We bring compassion and empathy and love. We're just there to help. I don't think people recognize that enough.
There are real steps that first responders can take to help protect themselves right now. Leading firefighter and EMS groups have created some free online courses to address violence on the job. Go to spotlightinvestigates.com and we'll link you to them. For Spotlight on America, I'm Lisa Fletcher.